Hi everyone. This video today is about something I've always wanted everybody to learn and understand. Is that your family, your environment, your whole that doesn't dictate who you are as a person. If your parents were alcoholics, that doesn't mean you're gonna drink alcohol no matter what. If your parents were mean, that doesn't mean you're gonna be mean no matter what. Just because the people around you sucked doesn't mean you have to. I was raised by one of the only honest addicts in existence, and that's my dad. And that guy has been an alcoholic, well, ever since I've known him. But he always told me, you grow up and you start drinking and stuff like that, you're going to turn into the rest of the idiots in this family. You'll be just like all of them. Because that's your genetics, that's who you are, that's your family. You see all these guys, you see how they're all the same. What alcohol has done to every single one of them. And let me just tell you, man, when my family gets together, it is to drink. Everybody drinks, no matter what. If you're old enough, actually, well, no, about 17, 18 is when you start drinking in my family. With the family, anyway. You probably started way before that. But as long as you're old enough, man, they are down to get drunk. Every time. Every time, that's all they do. And they're daily drinkers. I got aunts that drink a bottle of wine a night. My dad, after his morning coffee, whiskey and Coke. Every time. Sometimes beer. Having a lighter day. We're going to drink beer all day. We'll drink whiskey when we get later into the day. My mom was a beer lady big time. She's not really a hard alcoholic drinker. Another one of my aunts, major beer drinker all the time. We used to laugh because we didn't even think she ate. We just straight lived off a beer diet. Beer and sun tanning lamps. Oh my goodness. You go to family get-togethers and you could sit out in my grandpa's driveway and you could watch the the uncles. I had one uncle and he'd sneak out to his truck and drink and smoke. And then I had another uncle, he'd sneak out there and make his little mixed drinks and his sports bottles and stuff. Every single one of them was an alcoholic. And my dad always taught me how to spot it. And he always told me that, it's no excuse. You don't grow up, turn into a drunk, and blame it on me. You're your own person. You do what you want to with your life. It doesn't matter what you were born into. Your life is your choice. And he held me responsible for everything that I did. He made me take accountability. My decisions were my decisions. I was my own goddamn person. I was the only person in control of me. And I knew that. He also taught, you're the only one that cares about you, except for when it comes from my dad. My dad swears a lot. And it's more like, there's only one motherfucker on this planet that cares about you, and that's you, bro. So don't be a dumbass. But he's right. In the end, in the long run, you go to bed with you every day. Every night. You wake up with you every day. You're who cares what happens to you. You're in charge of your life. You're in charge of what happens with it. What happens to you. What you turn into. You're the guy that pours the drink every day, and you're the guy that drinks it. Right? Right. So, made me responsible, made me accountable. So I always grew up I was that kid in high school that get a referral and I'd sign it because I did it. Okay? But then one day I get one for something I didn't do, and I go into my vice principal and I'm like, no, bro, no. What happens? Well, he believes me. Why? Because I've always been accountable and responsible, and I've accepted my consequences. Because whatever I did, I wanted to do it. I made the decision. It was me. My actions weren't to blame on anybody else. I was the guy. It was all me, and I knew that. I was raised that way, which was awesome. So when I got older, and because of watching my family, I was not a drinker in high school. I hated this stuff. You talk to any of my friends, man, I was not the drinker at the parties. I was the kid getting stoned. I was doing other stuff. Alcohol wasn't my deal. I didn't like it. Really didn't like it. And then, sadly, I got older. I actually became a bartender and was not a drinker. Didn't like the taste of alcohol, but I loved to bartend. Weird, right? But I got older, and one day I started drinking for the wrong reasons. Why? Because I'd watched it numb everybody else in my family. I watched what it did for them. And I hit a time in my life where, I wanted to be numb. That was the only thing that there was so much, and I just didn't want it to hurt anymore. So I started drinking. And then I started doing it every day. And then I started doing it so I could sleep. First, it was to feel better. Then it was to sleep. To not feel. See, there was all these reasons. It was never just because I was thirsty. No. See, I started drinking for a reason. Tell people nowadays, man, you ever start drinking for the wrong reasons, you will lose control of alcohol for the rest of your life. But I also thought because I'd grown up with the understanding of my family that I was better than them. That I could beat it. That I could stop years of drunks. Like, my mom has done research. People have drank in my family, drank themselves into insane asylums, suicides, wet brains, like, and it's all of them. Man, we are like drunks on both sides, back every single goddamn generation. I am the first one in generations to put it down. To not be a drinker. I'm one of the first ones to say no to it. No. And I don't talk to a lot of the younger cousins. I hope more of them are like me. But all the older generations, man, none of them have stopped. They're all still doing it. But anyway, so I started drinking for the wrong reasons, right? Well, 2.5 years into it, I drink a half gallon a day. I weighed about 30 pounds more than I do right now. I was totally unhealthy and my life was totally out of control. I was drunk several times a day, constantly hungover, drunk at work all the time. I had 2 jobs in a row that let me drink on the job. That was really scary and dangerous. But one day I woke up, like, I started realizing, like, my dad was right. He was right the whole damn time. That if I ever started, I'd turn into the rest of them. And I was sitting there 8:30 in the morning pouring myself a shot of whiskey being like, well, shit, kid. You're not any better than the rest. Congratulations, you turned into one of them just like the rest. You can drink like a champ. You know, I go to the bar and people would, like, praise me because I walk up and order 3 shots of whiskey and a glass of water. Brutal, bro. Look at that girl drinking whiskey straight with her water. Like it's something cool. And you know, I remember a few times guys would turn and be like, give me a high five, man. Yeah. I'd always turn, and alcohol turns to anger in people. It'd usually be me, and I'd be like, dude, get out of my face. This isn't something to congratulate somebody on. This is a drinking problem. And I would tell people I'm an alcoholic, and they thought it was a joke. Honest addict, right? Raised by another one. So when I drink, and people would ask me why, and I tell them I'm an alcoholic, man. I can't stop. Well, they thought because I knew that meant that I was in control. That didn't mean anything. That just meant that, like, I knew where I was at in life. I had no misconceptions about how bad things were. I was drinking myself to death daily, trying to. Well, I hit a point where I couldn't even remember 5-digit numbers. Now, if you know me, like, I'm a very, very bright person. I've always enjoyed my brain a lot. I read a lot, remember full paragraph, like, yeah. So to be down, like, lifetime waitress that doesn't write orders down, but I can't remember a 5-digit number. Everything was starting to get impacted. I had a DUI. I went to jail. I, like, all these terrible things, all to drink. And by now, like, I don't even know if I still wanted to be numb anymore. I was giving myself more reasons every day to be numb. I actually heard a quote by Robin Williams. It says, an alcoholic will violate their standards faster than they can lower them. And that is true. That is so true. You will do things that, like, regular you would have never even done. But anyway, back to the whole family thing, you know, and your actions. Like, I had a big realization point when I finally did quit drinking. See, I used to party pretty hard, and I know that in a blackout I'll do things that, like, I never would normally do. It's a different person that's in control. Somebody else has the wheel, and yeah, she's destructive. The last night I drank, I already drank almost a fifth that day by the time the person that drank with me got to my house. And that person I drank about a fifth of vodka, and that person had a fifth of tequila on them, and a lot of other extracurricular stuff. And I told them I can only take maybe a shot or 2 more, and I can't drink anymore. I need to be cut off. They're like, yeah, no problem, man, I'll cut you off. Cool. So, long story short, I woke up the next day running for bathroom throwing up blood, feeling worse than I've ever felt in my whole life, smelling like puke, and all sorts. Yeah, puked on myself apparently sometime, I could tell. Smelling like puke and all sorts of other gross stuff. My house is torn apart. Choya hasn't slept. Apparently they almost took me to the hospital because they thought I was going to die the night before. And he just looked at me and was like, wow, you really went on one last night. And I told him, like, I'm never going to drink again. And he's like, well, I'm not going to ask you to quit. And I was like, no, like, but, you know, I'm still getting pretty sick. I threw up like 3 or 4 more times. And I was sitting out in my living room and I got this weird feeling. And I looked out my front window and my mom was walking up my driveway. One of the most infamous alcoholics in our family. And she had a 6-pack and a beer already open. Yeah! And if you know my mom, she's got one of those breathalyzer things in her car, so guess what? She ain't driving nowhere because she's already been drinking. She is now my responsibility. And I've got the worst hangover I've ever had in my whole life. I was like, seriously, universe? Like, I heard you when I woke up this morning not to ever drink again. I don't need any more signs. So, for the next 13 hours that day, I babysat my mom, hammered in my house, showing me my future. My lonely, angry, little mixed up future. She got angry and screamed at me because I didn't have wash rags. They were already packed and I only had sponges to clean with. And I caught her standing in the bathroom talking to herself about it, like drunk, like hammered. And I just kept thinking, oh my god, like this is where it goes for you. You're alone. That's your future, walking around alone and angry and hammered with nothing. Like, if you don't stop, you're gonna be the rest of your family, everything you always hated growing up. And you're on the exact same path, and it hit me so hard. And that was the last time I drank. That was September 3rd. September 2nd, 2016 was the last time I drank. I've been sober since then, just over 7 months. I have a great job that I managed to earn back by being sober. Me and Choya are expecting a baby, which is awesome. I've wanted to be a mom my whole life, and I'm pregnant for the first time ever. Worked really hard to get here. And still on my choices and making changes and trying to be a better person. But what I want everybody to take from this is, like, you are responsible for you. Don't blame it on other people, man. It's all you. Your choices are you. Your life turns out the way you make it turn out. You need to put the work in. You want it to get better? Make it better. Make it better. Quit making crap choices. Do something better for yourself. I did. And it's the best. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. Pick you. Pick you. Work for you. Wake up every day and be your own damn goal. If you learn anything from me, man, be a little bit more selfish. Care about yourself. Tell yourself you're better than other people. You don't get anywhere telling yourself you're worse than other people. Like, we're trying to make this world a better place, and the fastest way to make it a better place is to start with you. So change. Do it. It's hard, but the only constant is change. It's the only thing we got. Okay. Thanks, everybody. This is a long one. I hope y'all watch it because I do think I give good advice. Love you all. Peace and namaste.